I'm just now turning around. So it's 10:30.
Just 10:30. He's just now.
But congratulations, I'm super excited for you.
It's good and bad. But it was nice having someone we could get stuff done with. All right. Let's admit all. Rick, do you have a preference on which one you do?
Good morning, one and all.
Williams or, are they both yours? Williams and Kozakowski? Rick, do you care which one we do first? Can you hear me?
Can't hear you.
Really?
I can hear you, Judge.
I can also hear you, Judge.
Okay, I can hear you.
Maybe your age.
Could be. I'll try to turn on my hearing aids.
Okay. Which
I
one
got
do you want
Tony,
to do?
so she'll tell me what you say.
You want Williams or Kozakowski first?
Either one.
It's dealer's choice at the jail. You get to pick.
Woo! Williams.
All right.
Morning.
How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
All right. Is your name Jeffrey Lynn Williams Jr.?
Yes, sir.
And did you want to call your client testify?
I do.
All right. If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give being truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, stuff you got.
I do.
And I am going to consider the mental health assessment for the purpose of this hearing.
Okay, sir. State your name, Mr. Williams.
My name is Jeffrey Lynn Williams Jr.
And you understand, we visited yesterday and you understand that I filed an application for a mental health bond for you.
Yes, sir.
And because indications are you do suffer from mental illness and have in the past. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You have had an opportunity to review the action plan on at least 2 occasions. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I visited with you about it. Do you think you understand the terms of that action plan?
Yes, sir, I do.
You understand that you'll be required to check in weekly and come to court at least once a month to check in until such time as your case is formally filed?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. There are other conditions and orders. Are you able to do those things?
Yes, sir.
You'll be living where, sir?
I'll be living with my mother in Arlington.
Okay. Do you have transportation available to get you to and from court, make your appointments with regard to your mental health care?
Yes, sir, I do. I also have a valid driver's license.
Okay. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Any questions from the state?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Williams, what mental health diagnoses or mental health issues have you been diagnosed with in the past?
Bipolar depression.
And were you given any medication for those?
Yes, sir. Lithium.
Lithium. And are you currently taking any medications in the jail?
No, sir. I'm not. I actually been diagnosed with HIV while I was in here, and I was supposed to be seeing a specialist the past month now, and I haven't seen anyone. So I think that's the reason why I haven't. They haven't put me on any medication.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
You rest?
Yes, sir.
Anything else from the state?
Your Honor, I'd just like a moment to read in his criminal history for the record.
1 moment, please. Okay.
In 2005, he was arrested as a juvenile for criminal mischief and adjudicated and placed on probation until he had turned 18. He was arrested again in 2006 for Class B theft of property. He was given 6 months deferred and was eventually revoked 3 months later and sentenced to 45 days jail. He was arrested again in 2006 for evading arrest and given 45 days jail. He was then arrested in 2007 for robbery, but we do not have any court data or any prosecution data on the subsequent follow-ups. He was arrested again in 2008 for evading and sentenced to 75 days jail. In 2011, he was arrested for Class B theft of property and convicted for 21 days. And then in 2016, he was arrested by the Roanoke Police Department for assault, family violence, Class A misdemeanor, and he was sentenced to 15 months probation, where he was amended and continued on for more months. And then 2016, he was arrested for theft of property with 2 more previous convictions, and he was sentenced, that was pled down to a Class A misdemeanor, and he was sentenced to 21 days before his most recent cases with our up in Collin County today. And state.
Any argument from the state?
Due to the mental health assessment and his criminal history, we would oppose a mental health PR bond at this time.
I'm going to go ahead and give you a bond at this time, get you some help started. You've got to do what you say you're going to do. What you say you're going to do is you're going to follow the plan and get medication and see doctors and that type of stuff. And
Yes, sir.
what you'll do every month is every week is you'll contact Tony. Tony's on the screen right now. You're going to contact her and let her know how you're doing. If you need any help with anything, let her know, or we'll assume you're doing well by yourself. Okay. Once a month, you'll come see me, and I'm not sure, we may or may not drug test you. I don't know if you really have a drug problem, or it doesn't sound like you have a drug problem. So we may or may not test you when you show up here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tony, do you want to share anything with them?
Yes, I just wanted to touch base with you, let you know when you get released, you're going to find a folder. In that folder is going to be my card. Lets you know the best days in which to days and time in which to contact me. Additionally, I need you to contact me tomorrow so we can talk about what you need to get done in the first 7 days of your release. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
See you next month. Good luck.
Thank you.
Morning.
How are you?
Making it. Anxiety's a little high, but
Waiting for my computer to catch up with me. Are you Richard Kozakowski?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. And did you want to call your client and testify?
I will, Your Honor.
If you would, raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
State your name, please, sir.
Richard Michael Kozakowski.
And Mr. Kawakowski, you understand and you requested that I file an application for a mental health bond. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And have you had an opportunity to go over the action plan for you multiple times?
Yes, sir.
You understand what's going to be required of you if, in fact, the court grants you a mental health bond?
Yes, sir.
You have been diagnosed with mental illness in the past. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You have been placed on medications in the past. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Prior to being arrested, were you taking your medications?
Not fully. I had missed days. Missed
Okay.
with cough.
Could you describe for the court briefly what, if any, mental issues you had since being confined in jail?
Bipolar 1, schizo, affective disorder, and anxiety with depression also.
Have you had any issues there in the jail with regard to your mental illness?
Yes, Your Honor. They finally got me back on my right medicines, and I've been good for a couple of weeks now, though.
Okay. I'd ask the court to consider the MHA in this case.
I am looking at it right now.
And I'll pass the witness.
Does the state have any questions?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Witowski, where would you be living if you were given a PR bond?
In Anna,
In
217. Yes, sir.
Is that with family?
No, sir. I just rent a place.
You rent a place, and would you have access to transportation to make your appointments and
Yes.
to make appearances?
Yes, sir.
Would you be driving yourself, or would someone else be helping you get to places?
Until my car gets fixed, I'll be riding with my brother.
Your brother, would he be living with you, or does he live up in Anna?
He lives in Anna also, a couple blocks away.
Okay. I have no questions, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
And anything else from the state?
I would just like to read in his criminal history for the record. In 2002, he was arrested for boating while intoxicated, given 2 years probation, where he was subsequently revoked and sentenced to 180 days. Again, in 2002, he was arrested for evading detention with a vehicle. He was in that he pled to 180 days on that. Again, in 2002, he was arrested for burglary of a habitation. That case was rejected by the prosecutor's office in Sherman. On that same incident, he was arrested for assault public servant. That case was also rejected by the prosecutor's office. He was then arrested again in 2003 for aggravated kidnapping, and that was no billed by the Collin County Grand Jury. In 2005, he was arrested for resisting arrest, where he pled guilty to 1 year jail. On that same incident, he was arrested for assault public servant, which was pled down to, I believe, the resisting, where he served a year. In 2005, he was arrested for evading with vehicle. That he was sentenced to 2 years confinement in TDC. Again, on that same incident, he was arrested for possession of a dangerous drug. That case was changed, possession of a controlled substance, where he was sentenced to 1 year jail. In 2007, he was arrested for ag assault with a deadly weapon. In that case, those charges were dropped by the arresting agency. Then again, in 2007, he was arrested for assault causing bodily injury to a family member, that case was rejected by the DA's office. In 2008, he was again arrested for assault causing bodily injury to a family member. That case was also rejected by the prosecutor's office. In 2014, he was arrested for driving while intoxicated, third or more, where he was sentenced to 4 years probation, subject to 8 years confinement. He was eventually revoked on that probation and sentenced to 2 years TDC before then being arrested again in 2019 for ag assault with a weapon, which that case was no billed in the Collin County Grand Jury, before being arrested again in 2021 for obstruction or retaliation in Sherman, and that charge is currently pending before the charges he's here on today. State arrest at this time.
Any argument from the state?
Due to the defendant's criminal history, we would oppose a mental health bond at the time.
Yeah, Mr. Kozakowski, your criminal history is too much. I can't let you out on a PR bond based on that criminal history. I don't think it's in the best interest of the community, so I'm going to deny bond this time. When your cases are filed, you'll be able to get a bond from the judge that the cases are filed in, okay? Good luck. Thank you all.
Do I still have a hearing next Friday for examining trial?
Yes.
Okay, good. That seemed better.
Thank you all.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
See you later.